Today we're going to take off and change out the rotors on a 1996 E350 RV. But basically it's, you know, any kind of a Econoline Ford rotor that's built like this one. Since there's no videos on YouTube for this, we figured we'd just go ahead and take a shot of this. Because in most videos, the rotors on these, on the newer ones, are just slip over rotors over all these wheel studs. The older one's a nice big huge rotor.
That'll be it for now, until we get it loose.
We're going to cheat a little bit on this one. Normally you would take the caliper loose from the pad bracket, but you can actually get to the bolts for this whole bracket that'll remove it in the caliper, so we're going to pull that whole thing off. We had changed out the pads, and this isn't exactly the best way to do brake jobs. We changed out the pads a little earlier. They were in the middle of a trip, so the pads are still good. Looked them out, I looked them over, they're really good. Just the rotors have gotten heat cracked and questionable, so we're just going to replace them. Now to get these big bolts loose on the caliper bracket, probably to use a cheater bar to get that initial torque broke free. In this case here, the threads were pretty much kind of rusted, and it was a hard turn on that bar each stroke. So when you go back together, be sure to wire brush your threads and put some anti-seize or some grease on the bolts. Like I said, the whole thing just sets right off. These are new calipers and new pads. Just the only thing we didn't get to change was the rotors. They were on a trip, so. And that's pretty much how you just do it. You set that off and pull the rotor. I always make sure that your new bearing, because we bought new bearings for this, make sure that your new bearings sit down on that race and turn smoothly, because there have been times when I've bought them that the actual race in the new rotor is warped and you can feel it kind of have a lumpy feeling. But sure to pack your bearing, and then make sure your seal fits before you get all that grease and stuff in there. Make sure you turn the seal the correct way. Like I said, just pack your bearing and set it in there, then just tap your seal in. Using something to protect your pads, just squeeze in your pistons with your C-clamp or something to get a little bit of gap so you can go back together with it and just put everything back in the reverse order. As you can see, this RV is kind of big, but this is the type of vehicle we were working on. We would have videotaped going back together with the rotor, but due to some unforeseen pop-up of bad weather, we had to quit, so we didn't get to videotape going back together. However, this does show a good example of how you do take the rotor off, and hopefully that helps, because we haven't seen any other videos out there on this, so hope you enjoy.